Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. If you, like me, have experienced some performance issues and slowdowns with your Railway hosted web application, there is a very good chance that this video will solve your problem for good. Now, a few months ago, Railway changed the way projects are deployed, and some types of projects, they contain services of different kinds, and this will cause some performance issues. But thankfully, I know a fix for it, and it is really easy. So first I'll just demonstrate the problem, and we'll do some measuring of the request time. Then I'll show you how to fix it, and we'll measure the time again for the request to see how much we improved it. And the good news is that we are not going to be buying more CPU cores or anything like that. It is actually very simple. We don't have to deploy any code changes. It's just clicking a few buttons in the user interface to change some settings, and then we get much better performance. So first I'll launch a project where the issue is pretty apparent, and this one, Medusa 2.0, is a quite complex e-commerce platform. So it has like a database and a Redis instance and a backend and a storefront, a lot of different apps that are talking together to make the whole ecosystem works. And this one really has noticeable performance issues because there is so many links between all the services. So let's just wait for the project to spin up, and then we are going to the storefront where the clients would be buying your products. And then we're going to measure the request time, and after that we'll fix it. So I'll just pause and wait until the deployment has finished. All right, we are now live. All the services are green. It took 8 minutes. Unfortunately, we are not going to optimize the deployment type of this project, but we are live now. And the storefront, as you see here, is connected to the backend, and the backend to the database. So whenever the clients are using the storefront, they have to go through the backend and to the database in order to save the shopping session. So when they add products to the cart and stuff like that, then we save it all the way to the database. And this is causing some performance issue, and let's just demonstrate that and do some request timing. So I'm gonna open up the storefront here in a new tab. Gonna zoom a little bit, open the menu and go to the store. And then we are going to be buying a t-shirt. And I'll open my network tab here. And let me just zoom out a little bit. And I choose a black medium and clear the network tab here, and then I add to cart, and we see a request is being made, and the loading spinner is just keep going. It's really slow. This shouldn't take that long time. And you see it took I saw here before the request was fully made, it was 9 seconds, but we already got the first response about 7 seconds, but almost 10 seconds to add something to the cart. That is unacceptable for a lot of people. Especially when you think about, now I added to the cart, now I want to go to the cart, and you see this is being really slow. Then we need to go to the checkout, and again the customer has to wait. This is an unacceptable user experience. So let's fix that, but before we fix it, maybe I should just talk about why this is happening. And if we go here to Railway changelog from 18th of October, so this issue has actually been there for a while, but they made a post here where they talk about transitioning from, I believe, Google Cloud servers to their own Metal servers, as they call it. And in that process of transitioning, this is going to be spanning over 2024, so last year, and all the way into 2025, and we don't know how long into 2025. But what essentially this means is that some services are going to be deployed on the new Metal servers by default, but not all services support these new Metal servers. So some will be deployed on the Google Cloud servers, and some will be deployed on the Railway Metal servers. And this is what's happening on this project here, and probably a lot of other projects. So all the services that says they are launched via Docker image, so this one bucket service here, and the Postgres database, the Redis, and the Mealy search engine, they are all Docker images, and as of right now, at least, the Metal servers does not support that. I have been in touch with Railway, so I know this from someone who works there, and told me that these servers does not support it yet, and use the word yet, so I'm expecting them to. But if we open up the Postgres here and go to settings, and we scroll a little bit down here under the region, you can see that it says this is in Oregon in the United States. And if we look at the the backend. So this is a node.js service that is launched via GitHub. And we go to the settings and we scroll down to region, and you'll see it has this new metal and it's in California. So this is a problem. Now you would say that Oregon and California are right next to each other, so the request round trip shouldn't be that long. And yeah, that's true, but between a backend and a database, there can be a lot of read-write back and forth. So just some kilometers can actually slow things down quite a bit. So in my case here, what we saw I was doing, I was making a request from my browser, so in the Netherlands, and then to the Next.js backend, which is the server of the storefront here. And that one is also in California. So from the Netherlands to California, and then these two are on the same one. So the request time between these are minuscule, but then between the backend and the Postgres, they go to between California and Oregon, and not with a direct fiber cable. So this is slower. And this is what we need to improve on. So we cannot change the Docker services to the new Metal server. So what we have to do instead is change all the node services that are on the Metal to be on the Oregon, and they do allow us to do that. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll change first the storefront, and then here US Oregon for the backend. And now this one is not something that my customers would use, so it's not so important, but I'll change it to the same region as well anyway. And that is it. So now we should have all the Docker services. They are already on Oregon, and now these three will also be put back onto the Google Cloud servers. So this ensures that they are all in the same server house and they have really fast connection between them. And they are now deploying, so I just have to wait for this to be deployed on the Google Cloud servers, and then we will do the whole process again by going into the storefront and adding things to the cart and measuring the request time and see how much we actually improved it. So I'll pause and come back as soon as the deployment is done. All right, that didn't take long. The node services, except for the console, which we don't really care about, but they are now on the Google Cloud servers again, with all the others. So there should be internal networking with the direct fiber cable between all these, or maybe they are even in the same server rack. We don't know that, but they should be so close together that the request time should be sped up a lot. And the only real request time would be between me and the storefront, so from the Netherlands to Oregon. But let's time it here. So I'll open up the storefront again. Go to the store. And let's add the t-shirt again. So let me open up my network tab here and zoom out a little bit. Let's clear it here. Black, medium, was it medium we had before? Let's see, add to cart. And the total request time is now less than 2 seconds. So almost a factor of 5, we have improved the speed. And let's just play a little bit around with user interface here and see if it feels more snappy. So let me just add some more. Large, extra large. Let's go to cart, go to checkout. It's all very reactive and feels very snappy, so I don't see any real performance issue anymore. This is fast, this is as we want it. Now this fix doesn't only apply to this project, this fix applies to all projects that are launched with services in different regions. So if you're experiencing performance issue, the first thing I would suggest you to do is to go into all of your services on Railway and see if they are on the same region, and if they're not on the same region, change it to the same region, deploy again, and see if your performance issue has been fixed. If not, then there's always possibilities of other kinds of performance issues with the services themselves, resource limits, all that kind of things. But this one is probably the first one that I will check, because it is really easy and you don't need to do any code deployments or buying more resources like server, CPU cores, RAM, all of that. It's just moving all the services onto the same server houses. Luckily, in the future, everything will be deployed on the Railway Metal by default, and then this won't be an issue anymore. But for the time being, the solution is really, really simple. So I hope that this helped you with your performance issue. That's all for now. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.